What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're getting into my final NFL power rankings. And before we dive right into it, just want to say prayers up for Damar Hamlin. He looks like he is going to be returning. Well, is saved. Crazy, man. That was frightening. But Damar Hamlin is looking good. Positive news. Keep praying for that young man because that would just be horrible if he passed away. But fortunately, it's looking like he's going to make it. So that's good, guys. But yeah, let's dive right into it. Final power rankings of the year right here. Let's get into it. Starting off with number 32, we're going to have the Chicago Bears dropping down 3 spots and at the worst team in the NFL at this point. Yeah, the Bears are not good. Let's just admit that. They're not a good football team. The defense is atrocious, and now Justin Fields is not going to be playing for Week 18. So I'm going to be just saying, with Justin Fields, they're a contender for the worst team. Without him, they're definitely the worst team. So I'm just going to say that. The Bears get steamrolled this week by the Lions, so not looking good for the Bears at all. We'll see what they do. Moving on for the future. All right, going to number 31, we're going to have the Indianapolis Colts. Just going to be jumping up a spot because of the Bears. I mean, this team does not look good at all against the Giants. It's not a good team, especially with Nick Foles. Matt Ryan did not deserve to be benched. He was playing decent enough to be the starter for Foles. This team's clearly tanking right now, and they're not going to be able to get the first pick, which is unfortunate for them. But, yeah, this team is one of the worst teams in football. And then number 30, we're going to have the Houston Texans jumping up a spot. They do, or where are they? There they are. They do lose to the Jaguars pretty bad, but this is because of the Bears coming down. Yeah, the Texans are not a good team here at all. This team, or actually, sorry, the Bears dropped down 2 spots, and then, okay, yeah, this is my bad. Okay. Oh wait, no, sorry. Yeah, just ignore all that. Sorry. But no, yeah, the Texans. I just don't think that they're. They play competitive, but luckily, probably the best case scenario for them to lose that game, so they can lock up the number 1 pick with one more loss. So we'll see if they could do that. The Bears are the only team other than them to be in contention, so we'll see if they can do that. All right, going to number 29, we're gonna have the Arizona Cardinals jumping up a spot. The Cardinals sitting at 4-12. Yeah, I mean they play decent enough against the Falcons, but lose it, which is fine for them. They get a better pick, and it ensures probably that Cliff Kingsbury's fired. I will say, this defensive coordinator from the Cardinals has done an excellent job with this defense. I thought this defense might be the worst in the whole NFL, but he's done a great job at using the talent that they got and making it decent enough, but clearly without Kyler Murray, it doesn't look like he's returning for week 1 next year. So, yeah, that's rough for the Cardinals, and they're just one of the worst teams right now. Really bad season for them. Going to number 28, we're going to have the Atlanta Falcons dropping down a spot. The Falcons sitting at 6-10, just barely beat the Cardinals there. Arthur Smith did enough decent stuff with his offense. All season long, but it's just been very the same kind of team, very inconsistent team all year. They run the football. Tyler Algier has been a great pickup from them out of BYU. He's been a great running back. And then you got players like, I don't even know, but Desmond Ridder, he's been kind of mid. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what they're doing with him. I'm not sure if they're going to draft a quarterback or they're going to roll with him next year. So we'll see what the Atlanta Falcons do right now. They still have a lot of stuff to go. Drake London, that's who I was thinking of earlier. Yeah, he's been great this season. So we'll see what the Falcons do this offseason. Number 27, we're going to have the Denver Broncos jumping up a spot. Interesting team heading into the offseason. This team, just barely nearly beat the Chiefs. So good week for the Broncos. I guess a moral win for them. Russell Wilson looks a lot better this week under their new interim head coach. So that's good for the Broncos. And this offense kind of getting back to form a little bit. Over the past like 2-ish weeks, or like not except for the Rams game, that's been a whole different storyline. But yeah, I mean the Broncos doing a decent enough job right now with their defense, and we'll see. If Russell Wilson and this team can recover next season. I do believe in Russell Wilson as a quarterback still, and we'll see if he has enough in the tank to lead his team to victories. All right, going to number 26, what if the Rams stay at the same spot at 5-11? I mean, just kind of a weird team to rank right now. A couple weeks ago, Baker Mayfield in this Rams offense looks dominant against the Broncos. And then now this week, just get obliterated by the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, clearly there's a talent differential there between the Chargers and the Broncos, but yeah, still great week from the good week from the Rams. But yeah, I'm not sure. They need to get healthy next season. They're looking to run it back next year if they can get healthy, because they don't have any draft capital. So we'll see what the Rams do this offseason. And there we go. There's the bad tier. Let's advance to the decent tier. Starting it with number 25, dropping down 2 spots, we have the Raiders. The Raiders this week just barely losing overtime to the 49ers. Jared Sturdom, I believe that's his name, played excellent in this game after benching Derek Carr. He played good in this game against the 49ers, really distributed the ball well against probably the best defense in the NFL coming into that game. So that's a big-time accomplishment for the Las Vegas Raiders. Their offense, Devontae Adams continues to be Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, great running back. So the Raiders are a solid enough offense. The defense clearly has its issues, and they need to work through that. And Derek Carr, we'll see if he gets traded this offseason. It's a potential possibility. A lot of teams could be shopping for him. But right now, the Raiders, I do believe, are a number 25 team. All right, going to number 24, we're going to have the Washington Commanders dropping down 6 spots here. The Commanders this week lose against the who is it? Browns. That's who. Sorry. But yeah, the Commanders taking a big drop. I mean, they put on Carson Wentz. A lot of people criticize that move. I think they lose that game anyway against Taylor Heineke. The defense for the Commanders really has really taken a step back since their bye week. Really, they got to be better. I mean, now it's the end, so it doesn't matter at this point. The Commanders, I think, have a good roster. They are just a quarterback away. I think that they need to get a solid quarterback, work on the offensive line. And this team could be a solid football team next season and be a good team. But yeah, right now the Commanders under Ron Rivera get eliminated, and just kind of a mediocre year for them in general. All right, jumping up 2 spots here, we're going to have the Cleveland Browns at 23. The Browns, Deshaun Watson plays pretty solid in this game against the Commanders. He's starting to get back to things. Obviously, America wants Watson to be bad, but we'll see if he, is the quarterback like he used to be. The defense for the Browns has stepped it up, played well against the Commanders. They really did not look good through the first 10-ish weeks of the season, 10 games, but they've stepped it up. And then the offense has been good enough with Watson over the past couple games. So, yeah, the Commanders just looking to build this offseason around Watson and try and be a Super Bowl contender, because they gave up a lot to go and get Watson. And we'll see if it pays off. Right now, it's hard to tell. All right, going to number 22, we're going to have the Carolina Panthers staying at the same spot. The Carolina Panthers is at 6-10. Yeah, I mean, they get eliminated this week because they lost to the Buccaneers. Really were playing good in that game until they didn't, really. That's how I would describe it. So yeah, the Panthers had a chance to win that one, just couldn't quite get the job done. So yeah, interesting decision what they're going to do with Wilkes this offseason, if they're going to bring him back as their head coach. I think he's done a good job. I think they should. I'm not sure though what else they could go after. Some good head coaches. But we'll see what the Panthers do this offseason. They're really another one of those teams like the Commanders, a quarterback away. If they can get this defense, improve it, improve the offensive line. You know, they got a solid receiver with DJ Moore. So, yeah, the Panthers I think that they have a bright future, and I think that they could win the South next season. Going to number 21, we're going to have the Tennessee Titans dropping down 2 spots here. The Titans at 7-9. Also, they are in the hunt tier, so we're going to have a little bit of a tier jump here. But yeah, the Titans, just getting the job done. All right, just playing their practice squad basically against the Dallas Cowboys. I don't really know what to take away from that one. Really, we're just benching the players because the game did not mean anything. So yeah, we'll see what the Titans do. They still have a chance to beat the Jaguars and slide in the playoffs because that would be a dream for the Ravens or the Chargers, whoever plays them. We'll see with the Titans. They're a very well-coached team. They're not going to give up at all. Going to number 20, we're going to have the Miami Dolphins taking a huge drop this week, dropping down 11 spots. And Miami, it's just not a good team. It's just not a very good quarterback situation. With Skylar Thompson, this team cannot win. It's just clear. It's clear as day. The Dolphins are not good enough. Tua, great quarterback. Without him, Skylar Thompson can only do so much. They obviously have very explosive weapons with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. The O-line solid. The offense is very explosive, but the defense is not good. We know this, and the Dolphins have fallen off a cliff at 8-8 right now. They do, if they can beat the Jets and lose and have the Patriots lose, they're in the playoffs. But at this point on, this isn't really looking like a playoff team. So the Dolphins, I do think that they should come down a lot here in the power rankings. All right, going to 19, though, we're going to have the New York Jets dropping down 4 spots. Tough for the Jets fans to get eliminated this week. Clearly, Mike White, not the guy he looked like Zach Wilson from a couple weeks ago. In the quarterback situation, they just need to figure that out, and this team could be very good. The defense is set. It's a very good defense. The offense, has some playmakers with Garrett Wilson. The offensive line needs to be better. It's not a good offensive line. And then once they get back Breece Hall next year, can be a very good offense. So the Jets, they're a quarterback away. If they could get that quarterback, this team could be very good next season. We'll see if they could do that. Going to number 18, we're going to have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers jumping up 6 spots here. And the Buccaneers are going to be in this playoff tier. The Buccaneers getting the win against the Panthers, and now Brady's in the playoffs. No one wants to meet Tom Brady. Tom Brady played an excellent game this game. Really looked like his former self. He has had not his best year, but still has been playing. It's not all the blame on Brady. He's playing good right now. Mike Evans got going this week. And then the defense is a gritty unit for the Buccaneers. They still have playmakers on that side of the ball. So you never know. With Tom Brady in the playoffs, you don't want to play Brady in the playoffs. He has really made a lot of teams regret playing him in the past. So we'll see if the Buccaneers can get going in the playoffs. All right, jumping up 4 spots here, though, we're going to have the New Orleans Saints. I do believe this is the best team when it's all said and done in the NFC South. And I do believe if they just beat the Bucs once, they had it in the Monday night game, just couldn't get it done. If they beat them, they're on top of the division here. I do think that they can win it, but unfortunate that they lost both times, and now they're eliminated. So it's rough for the Saints, but they got a very good defense. Injuries have been rough for them, but now they're ever since they've gotten back these players, they've been a very solid defense. And Andy Dalton doesn't get enough credit. He's been good this season for the Saints. They're just a gritty team. They played like it, and it's just unfortunate. It's a little bit too late for them to go on this 3-game winning streak or whatever after losing to the Buccaneers. So rough season for the Saints to not be able to come away with this crappy NFC South, and they're going to be jumping up 4 spots, though. So finishing at 17, a good team, a decent enough team. All right, going to number 16, we're going to have the New England Patriots jumping up a spot, getting the win over the Dolphins. Big-time win. The defense for the Patriots has been excellent. It's been a great pass rush here with Judon and these other players. It's been a good team. It's a Bill Belichick-led football team. They're solid. And, yeah, that's what the Patriots are. The offense clearly – not a good unit, very inconsistent. You never know what you're going to get from them, but the defense has been the most consistent team on this team. They're a very good unit. So, yeah, the Patriots just need to beat the Bills, which is no easy task at all to make the playoffs, but they just need to do that, and they're in. Or have the Dolphins lose and the Steelers lose. All right, going to number 15, we're going to have the Pittsburgh Steelers jumping up 5 spots into the playoff tier. Wow. The Steelers getting the win over the Ravens, and now Mike Tomlin is just 1 win away from still having not a single losing season. That is absolutely incredible if he can pull this off. He's been a coach since 2007 or 6? Wow. The Patriots, the Steelers, man. Mike Tomlin, that's one of the best accomplishments you can have, and he is 1 win away from clinching, or 1 win away and 2 Dolphins and Patriots losses, which isn't out of the question at all from making the playoffs, which is crazy. But the Steelers, very solid team. The defense, Tomlin really coaches up this unit, came up with a great game plan against the Ravens, said, we're going to make Tyler Huntley win this game through the air, and we don't think he can do it. And guess what? Huntley couldn't do it. So that helped the Steelers out quite a bit, and they got the job done. Kenny Pickett, been a solid quarterback this season. He looks like a building block into the future for this team. So congratulations to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Mike Tomlin just 1 more win away from continuing that streak. Going to number 14, though, we're going to have the New York Giants jumping up 2 spots. 9-6-1. They are going to be in the playoff tier because they're clinched, and they are a playoff team. Yeah, so the Giants here playing really solid football. You got to give the Giants credit right now. Brian Daboll, excellent coach. He should be the coach of the year, in my opinion. He has really coached up this team nicely. The defense is looking solid. The offense is doing its job and playing well. Daniel Jones playing well. Barkley obviously playing well. So the Giants, really, really solid enough team. They play a lot of people close. They win close games. And into the playoffs, you can sneak away winning like that. The Giants could be a wild card team. They might play the Vikings. The Vikings are not looking good right now, so that could be an upset. But yeah, congratulations to the Giants for clinching a playoff spot. Going to number 13, though, we're going to have the Detroit Lions jumping up a spot here, just steamrolling the Bears in that game. The offense just was explosive, and then the defense did their job. So big-time week for them to bounce back after that rough loss against the Panthers. The Lions playing good football. So, yeah, man, the Lions, they're a scary team right now. If their offense is on, they can be really good. They need a lot of things to go their way. They need the Seahawks to lose to the Rams and to beat the Packers, which is no easy task whatsoever. So we'll see if they can do that all. But, yeah, the Lions are going to be at 13. Number 12, though, we're going to have the Seattle Seahawks jumping up a spot. The Seahawks getting the job done against the New York Jets here. The defense played really well in that game. Came up with a great game plan, stopped the run. Jordan Brooks, though, their linebacker, is out with an ACL tear, so that really hurts for the Seahawks. But, the Seattle Seahawks really have a good roster, though, on the offense side of the football. Geno Smith been playing great. And they got some good weapons with Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. It is lack of depth at the wide receiver position. That's something that they got to work on. But, I don't think teams are lining up to play the Seahawks at all. Because, again, if this offense is on with Geno Smith, this team can win. This team can beat anybody. Don't get me wrong. The defense without Brooks, it's concerning, but they got playmakers on that side of the ball too. So still, I believe in Seattle right now. They should they could make the playoffs now with a Packers loss and a Seahawks win. All right, so let's go to number 11, though. We're going to have the Baltimore Ravens just going to be jumping up a spot because of the Dolphins dropping down here. Yeah, the Ravens, I don't even know. It's a hard team to rank right now, so I'm putting them at 11 here. Their defense is really great. They're one of the best in the league. But Lamar Jackson, you don't know what to do with him. Is he back this week? Is he not? Without him, this Ravens team, you might as well just move them to like behind the Patriots. So like 16 or whatever. I think that's where you'd put them then. But I am going to judge this team. I do think with Lamar Jackson, this offense can do good. They're really not explosive. They don't have a lot of receivers. Really rely on that run game. And it's just not going to be a winning formula in the playoffs, I think. I don't think it's going to be enough, but the defense is good. So hopefully Jackson could come back for this team, but it's a kind of an iffy team right now. Going to number 10, though, we're going to have the Jacksonville Jaguars staying at the same spot here at 8-8. Big-time week. Just thumping the Houston Texans. They're only one win away from clinching a playoff spot since, 2016 or something. So that's big for Jaguars fans. This offense, Trevor Lawrence has been playing great. They got playmakers. And then the Jaguars, Doug Peterson's done an excellent job here in Jacksonville. And this team's a scary team. They're playing really good football right now. I don't think anyone wants to play them either. I'm saying if you're, like I said earlier, if you're the Ravens or the Chargers, you are probably begging that the Titans win so you get to play the Titans, which would be a much easier matchup. But yeah, I'm going Jaguars at number 10. Going to number 9, though, dropping down a spot, we're going to have the Minnesota Vikings here. Was tempted to move the Vikings below the Jaguars, but didn't. Yeah, just a horrible week for the Vikings. They get steamrolled by the Packers, get exposed. This defense just not good at all. It sucks. It's not good. They really don't have a lot of playmakers or really the right scheme at all. But this offense is also getting beat up. The offensive line is getting beat up. They're taking some losses right now that they cannot afford. And then also, Kirk Cousins struggled in this game. So, I don't really trust the Vikings going into the playoffs. I think that they can be beat by anybody. They do have that home field advantage, though. So, we'll see what the Vikings do right now. But right now, a very flawed football team at number 9. And we'll see where we go from there with the Vikings. Jumping up 3 spots, though, we're going to have the Green Bay Packers. Big-time week. Green Bay has really flipped the script here. Aaron Rodgers playing just like he was, like Aaron Rodgers, playing like a top quarterback in the league. And then the defense has been much better. Joe Barry, I give him credit for this week. He came up with a much better scheme here to stop Justin Jefferson and the Vikings' offense. And they really executed. They were executed nicely. And then the Packers offense did their job. Aaron Rodgers obviously did his thing. So, again, the Packers are just a solid, complete football team right now, and no one wants to play Green Bay. Could I see this team going on a crazy run to the Super Bowl? Honestly, it's not even out of the question. Now, the inconsistency are there, so I don't think that I am going to bet on that at all. But the Packers, watch out for them. They're a good team at 8-8. They just need to beat the Lions, and they're in the playoffs. All right, staying at the same spot, though, we're going to have the LA Chargers. The Chargers sitting at 10-6 here. The Chargers beating the just completely crushing the Rams this week. So big time week. Justin Herbert's playing really good football here, playing like the franchise quarterback that this team believes in him to be. And the Chargers are a good team right now. Not a team you do not want to play. The defense has stepped it up. Staley's really been solid, changing his scheme a little bit and playing a lot more aggressive on that side of the ball, and it's worked for the Chargers defense. And the offense has taken its injuries this season, but it still has some explosive players. And the Chargers still a team that can surprise in the postseason, I think. All right, so that's the playoffs tier. Let's go to the contenders tier, though. Starting out number 6, was actually tempted to bring this team out of the contender tier here. The Dallas Cowboys, they did not play well against a Tennessee Titans team that was basically the practice squad for them. I mean, yeah, the defense, it's a concern right now. This has been the last like 4-ish games. They've not lived up to the expectations that, a lot of people probably put on the Cowboys. It should be better. They have a lot of playmakers that side of ball, but teams are kind of figuring out the things to stop it, and it's working. So Dallas has got to be better on that side of the ball, and Dak Prescott is turning over the football. Other than that, he's been playing good. He's got to limit the turnovers, though, if he wants to win in the playoffs, which I do think he can do. I do believe in Prescott as a quarterback, and this team. We'll see what the Cowboys do, though, in the playoffs. Can they finally, make the conference championship or make the Super Bowl this year? Going to number 5, though, we're going to have the San Francisco 49ers staying at the same spot at 12-4. Yeah, the 49ers, the defense kind of had a hiccup this week against the Raiders. Kind of a weird week for the 49ers. You were expecting them to just steamroll them with a backup quarterback, but didn't happen. They gave up, 36 points in that game, so it needs to be better on that side of the ball. But clearly, I don't think that's it's going to happen, every week. Maybe that's a wake-up call for the playoffs. Maybe they needed that, so they don't do that in the playoffs. But yeah, I still think the 49ers defense is good. I still, a little bit hesitant on Brock Purdy. He got a little bit lucky in this game, made a few mistakes. We'll see if Purdy is the real guy in the playoffs. Can he lead his team to a Super Bowl, which I'm not sure. He's still a 7th-round rookie. There's a reason he got drafted there. Going to number 4, though, we're going to have the Kansas City Chiefs staying at the same spot at 13-3, just barely beating the Denver Broncos this week. The Kansas City Chiefs right now, just a solid win for them. Patrick Mahomes didn't play great in their game against the Broncos. I still think Patrick Mahomes is one of the best players, if not the best player in the whole NFL. So he's still good. The Chiefs are still going to be a good team moving forward. But yeah, I still believe in the Kansas City Chiefs here. The defense has played good over the past few weeks. Still some issues there, though, which is why they're not cracking into the top 3 this week. All right, but then dropping down a spot, the Philadelphia Eagles here at number 3. I mean, it's kind of been a worrisome, couple weeks here. They lose to the Dallas Cowboys last week, and now they lose to the New Orleans Saints. Gardner Minshew, clearly, they need Jalen Hurts back. They're losing pieces on the defense as well. Injuries are starting to come up for the Eagles, but it's still a very well-coached team, and Jalen Hurts, I do think, is going to play well. Will he be back for Week 18? I'm not sure. This team can still lose out on the number 1 seed and the division, believe it or not, for the Eagles if they lose. So they need to lock this up this week. There's no more dilly-dallying for the Eagles. They got to finish it off. I still think this defense is very solid. They have been kind of up and down, though, and it's kind of a weird it's kind of, I was tempted to move this team down even more, but I'm not. I still think the Eagles are a number 3 team and a top 3 team right now. So, yeah. And then out of respect of Hamlin, Damar Hamlin, I'm just going to throw up the next 2. Bengals jumping up a spot and the Bills jumping up a spot. Not going to talk about football. Just praying for Damar Hamlin because it's basically nothing happened to speak of other than Hamlin's injury. So, yeah, anyway, guys, thank you all for watching this video today. Hopefully you all enjoyed the content. Final power rankings. Crazy. One more week, and then I'll come out with the NFL predictions. So, the playoff predictions. So, anyway, peace out.